Now we have our sound, we have our title, we have our movie clip. One thing that I want to do with this is just add a couple of, or at least one simple cinematic effect, just to make the colours pop a little bit more, get rid of that sort of washed out look. Because although this was a bright day with a bright blue sky, that's been lost in, I suppose essentially lost in the glare of the sun. So for this, I'm going to go into effects over here, and I'm going to go into video effects. Or am I going to go to video effects? Actually not going to go into video effects. I could use some of these. Adjustment effects, auto color, auto contrast, auto levels, always useful. Various lighting effects that could be dragged across, but I actually lied, and I'm going to go into the Lumetri presets, because these are the ones that can be used to make videos look more dramatic. So I'm going to go into the cinematic effect. I'm going to go to the Cinespace 50, because I've been in these before and they do look quite good. Well, we've got Cinespace 100 here. This looks like it's quite good. Colours are popping out. It's nice and bright. And you notice that I still have this unlocked. So I'm going to drag this over and apply it to the video track. Now, that's probably a little bit too bright. So Control Z on the keyboard gives you your undo. And it might be worth just sort of scrolling through and seeing what options there are. So 100 is too bright. Let's try 25. And we'll drag it into the right place, which is the video clip. It helps, but it's not quite had the impact that I'm after. So I'm going to try Cinespace 50. And then I just Control Z to undo, just to see the difference that makes. That looks more like the colours from a sunny day that have been put back on there. You've also got different film stocks that you can go in and add, and you get a little preview of what you're doing come up over here. There's monochrome effects, various types of turning stuff to black and white. Could be used to add interesting sections and pull sections out and make them just stand out a bit more to the audience. You've also got different cameras which you can use, which will have different effects. Again, as you can see from the preview, it is definitely worth looking at the preview images to see the type of effect it will give before putting it onto your actual image. But of course, the effect is only done on one photo. How it will actually work on your video will differ depending on your video. But they're certainly worth having a look through. You've also got universal looks. And again, if you pick them, you can see what sort of effects they actually have. So they are the generic way of adding quick balancing and effects to your video. Of course, you also then have video transitions somewhere, which I just missed. There we go. Video transitions. 3D motion, dissolve, page peel, slide, wipes, zooms to move your video from scene to scene. You've also got your slightly more generic editing with things like blur and sharpen. You've got shadows and highlights, auto levels, auto contrast. So let's just put some auto contrast on there. Didn't do particularly much, but then I have already put something on there that will change the contrast. Up on this, no, autosave. Up on this bit up here, you've got some additional settings that you can change and play around with to get the look that you want. Obviously 0 is the default, and you just play around and change it from there. need to give it a little while to update. Double click if you want to type the values in yourself. I'm just going to take that back to normal. And you've got a whole load of different controls in there that can be applied. You can change the intensity. So if I decide that wasn't quite enough, I could add more intensity to that. Or if it's a little too much, but 25 wasn't enough, I can take some away. As it is, I'm happy with about 50. Not quite sure what that just changed. I used the scroll wheel and it did something. You've got your sharpen filter, which you can use to give a soft effect or a sharpen effect. Generally speaking, I'm going to leave this at 0 because I don't really need to play with it. Vibrance of the image, you've got that you can play with. As you can see, that changes, makes the colours stand out more. But you do have a lot that you can play with in there. You've also got the option for a vignette, which is the black, or in this case white, circular outline that fades in around the picture. But you can also turn that off and not have it there at all. So that's some simple editing of your video.